Alright, I'm going to show you how I make these custom tool holders for your nailers or basically any tool. Grab some scrap wood and then lay your tool on top of it and start tracing out the outer contours of the bottom part of the tool. Then you can cut it out on the bandsaw, or you could use a jigsaw, a scroll saw, or basically anything you have to cut the profile out. And then you want to test fit every piece just to make sure that it is fitting alright. I'm using some thicker pieces of wood for these sections to provide a bit more support for when it's hanging vertically. So you can just kind of lay it out in a way that makes sense to support the tool. And basically, I'm just tracing out the outer profile of the tool. These holders kind of look like they're exact profiles, but they're really not. It's okay if it's not perfect. It will still hold the tool. And then I lay out my pieces onto a backer board, which is also a scrap piece of wood, and then I cut it down to size on the table saw. Alright, so for assembling this thing, you could just use glue, but I'm going to shoot some nails into this, mainly because I don't want to wait for the glue to dry. I'm just pinning it into place so that I can carry on with the build. Alright, so I traced and cut right over this label intentionally. For me, it's a reminder that things don't always need to be perfect. And really, it's not about the tool or the tool holder. It's about removing friction from the process of making stuff. I nailed down the thicker pieces with 18 gauge brad nails. And then for the centerpiece, I nailed that down with some 23 gauge pin nails. And again, this step is optional. And this is what it looked like so far. I grabbed a scrap piece of French cleat and applied some glue to the back and then secured it with some pin nails. You don't want to use just nails for this. Combine the nails with either glue or glue and screws, because otherwise it might fall off over time. It's definitely happened to me more than once. One final test fit just to make sure everything fits nicely. And then I made some space on the wall and threw it on there. For me, the value of this is that the tool is safe and I never have to look for it. It just removes friction from the process of making stuff. Also, it looks pretty cool.